subscribe. Tariq Radio. Watch and subscribe.
What are you telling me? I'm too big to get in your car.
Deja Blandings recorded it all. Her Lyft driver pulling up only to turn her down.
I was too big, and his tires, something about his tires. I asked him, what do I have to do with your tires?
This happened January 18th. The 29-year-old Detroiter was headed to a Lions watch party, only she never got there.
So you telling me I can't get in the Lyft because I can't fit in your car?
Yeah, you need to order a bigger car.
What make you think I can't fit in the car?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The driver told her she needed to request an XL car.
I was embarrassed, and I felt some type of way about it, you know.
She's hired a lawyer and is suing Lyft.
Well, from a legal standpoint, it seems like obvious discrimination. The Elliott-Larsen Act, which is Michigan's Civil Rights Act, specifically protects people from weight discrimination, and the driver here turned down her ride because of her weight.
Deja says this experience has scarred her.
I haven't really left my house since that.
She hopes this lawsuit will change how people treat others of all sizes.
Let's get Denzel the Incel. Well, that's a hell of a name.
Hey, what's up, Flex?
And how you doing, Denzel?
I'm chilling, brother. I'm chilling, man. You know, out here trying to survive. Hey, have you seen that viral rapper lady that that's trying to sue Lyft because the driver wouldn't accept her because she was overweight?
Yeah, and what the car? I heard she was trying to get into a Camry or some shit like that.
Yeah, it was a Camry, and she was like 600 pounds, and the Lyft driver was like, hey, he was trying to be nice, like, hey, trying to be easy with her. Like, I can't, my tires, they can't handle the weight. So now she's suing. I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that don't make people try to get a bag, however they try to get a bag. I think there was some white lady who tried to sue the airline because they made her get a couple of seats or some shit. It was something. But yeah, this woman, and she's a rapper. She's morbidly obese, and she's trying to sue Lyft. I don't even know how she could have fit in the car. That just defies physics. I don't even think she could. She can barely get into an SUV. We got a lot of people out here, man. Who's out here trying to get a bag, however they can get a bag. Yeah. That's why you have some of these people, some of these dudes out here who will put on a wig and a dress and then go out, and if somebody calls them a sir, they start acting like, oh my God, I just got misgendered. Oh God. They'll try to play that. So I don't like when people try to victimize themselves when it's a situation of physics. Nobody was victimizing you, ma'am. It's physics. You can't physically fit in certain cars. You say, I don't like frivolous lawsuits and shit like that. That shit ain't cool. That's not cool because there's legitimate discrimination out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't like cases like that because then it minimizes legitimate cases. If there's a sister out here who's really been discriminated against, you got this case where somebody's morbidly obese, whining about they can't get into a damn Camry. So that kind of delegitimizes a lot of other legitimate claims. I just don't like that. But hey, more power to her. More power to her. All right, let me get a couple of more folks. Y'all raise your hand in here, family. Y'all raise your hand if you are ready. If you are ready to chop it up, raise your hand. Let's get some new faces in here. Let's get Rufetti. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Rufetti. What's going on, brother Rufetti? Brother Rufetti. Waiting on his phone to get it together. While we're waiting on Rufetti, let's get the Terry podcast. Mr. Terry. Let's get Mr. Terry in here.
How you doing? Can you hear me, Tariq?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Terry?
Hey, man, shout out to you real quick. I started my own podcast, and it got picked up by a radio station. So I had people calling me a couple of weeks ago, and I always hear you talk about truth to power when I'm been following you for years. I'm speaking about the issues that we talk about. I had people calling me. hey man, be careful. You know, they killed King, they killed Malcolm. So I'm like, damn, what am I saying that scares you that much? So I talked to the station today. I'm just checking with you guys. Everything good? Yeah, but you know, we were scared at first because you were mentioning white folks and white supremacy. Okay, they said so. We went to the head guy. He said he loves it because it's controversial and you're educating them. And I said, man, I thought about you. I think you were talking to somebody in an interview in Africa somewhere, and you mentioned white supremacy, and they cut the interview straight off. It was like, and I was like, man, we got to stop being afraid to speak truth to power. So I
Mhm.
told them, hey, I have my podcast. You guys pick me up on the radio station. I gotta be me. They was like, no, 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 just be you. We were just afraid that it was going to run white people away. I'm really not talking to them. If they want to come in, great. I'm speaking about black issues. So again, shout out to you, brother, because you've inspired me and many others. I wanted to share that with you.
My man, that's big, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's interesting when you have black folks who are scared to talk about white supremacy in certain sections. You know what? We were and I talked about this before some years ago. We were shooting one of the movies I did. We were going to film in Louisiana, and we were going to film on plantations. Um, and there was one plantation down there that we wanted to film at. There's several plantations. We ended up shooting at um, I forgot the name of the plantation. It's a beautiful plantation. It's beautiful. So we ended up shooting at another plantation, but there was one plantation we wanted to shoot at, and this brother who was a follower of mine, his aunt worked there. She was like the curator, somebody. She's a black lady, but she was like the what was her position? I'm trying to see what her position was. I forgot what her position was at the plantation. Like a media manager, something. It was something. So we were going to arrange for us to shoot some of the interviews for the movie with the plantation in the background. We're going to film and just kind of, get the energy of the plantation. We're going to film down there. And I talked to the lady. Everything was cool. And then, about a week later, she hit me back up. Oh no, I didn't, Mr. Tariq. I done looked into some of your stuff. It's a little controversial. That kind of controversy is not something that we wants to bring on this plantation. She sounded like she was a slave on the plantation. I guess she started looking up my work and see how I call out white supremacy. And then she got nervous. And I'm like, ma'am, you're saying that my work is too controversial for us to film on a damn plantation where they had our people enslaved? But me talking about white supremacy is controversial on a slave plantation where folks were beaten and sold? Really, ma'am? "Oh, shh, we can't talk about that here now. It's a whole new day. You're gonna get us in a whole heap of trouble." I mean, this woman was just a buck in them damn eyes. I'm like, ma'am. So we went to another plantation, and when they bucked their eyes, I'd just rather go to the white people. So we went to this other plantation. The white people manage it. It was passed down to their white family. They were hella cool. They were hella cool. They just let us basically run the yard. They just gave us access to everything. They were hella cool. This plantation where we shot, what movie was it? I'm trying to remember what movie it was either Buck Breaking or Hidden Colors 5. It was one of them. Probably Buck Breaking. It was probably Buck Breaking. I don't know. But we had a great time. We had a great time shooting down there. And the people were hella cool. And this plantation was where they had a big revolt, the revolt of 1811. There was a big, massive revolt on this plantation. So that's where we shot down there. I love New Orleans. I love the energy of New Orleans. I like the energy of the ancestors on those plantations. I soak it in. I connect my Majara spirit with theirs. That's why I love New Orleans. All right. Let's get Dookie. Let's get Dookie in here. What's up, Dookie? His name is Dookie72. What's up, Dookie? All right. Dookie, unmute your microphone, sir. Mr. Dookie. All right.
All right, I'm here. How
There you
y'all doing?
What's up, Mr. Dookie?
I just have one question for you.
Go ahead.
Will you ever criticize Trump and the GOP for anything, any anti-black things they do and say?
They haven't done any anti-black policies. So yeah, I'm not criticizing. There's nothing to criticize. There's no anti
Okay, that's the answer. That's all I needed to know.
right.
It tells me everything I need to know. Thank you, sir.
There you go. Yeah. Ain't no anti-black policies. Yeah. Show me the anti-black policies. And there is none. Trump has not put out no anti-black policies. Now that he's been in for the week or so he's been in, there's no anti-black policies. In fact, they've been giving us props. As far as our lineage, they've actually talked highly and positively of our lineage. There's no anti-black. See, that's the thing. We're not jumping in front of the sword for other groups. You see? We're not jumping in front of the sword for other groups now. That's the immigration. That's not our issue. Yeah, that ain't our issue. That's what it is. King most.
Peace, Tariq. Peace. You can hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Everything's great, man. Thanks for having me up. I just wanted to ask you about the Tiffany Henyard situation really quick. I know you haven't really been following it deeply, but um, I do feel like they're trying to like prop her up to be like the fall for like an incoming great white hope for that city because even though there's still corruption going on with her, I just think that the way that they've been like denigrating her and the way that the media has been highlighting like an example of black leadership, it's
Yeah.
almost it's a double meaning to it. So I want to ask you a quick question: like, how do you balance between like calling out black corrupt leaders, but then also not playing into like the media's role of trying to tear down one of your own and then act like it's the great white hope that's going to save the town? That's all.
Right. Yeah, when people are doing corrupt things, and again, I don't know too much about it, but I'm learning about her now, and people saying that allegedly she was tricking off the money on some BS. So yeah, that definitely has to get called out. Um, but we have to also be able to replace these janky politicians in with competent ones. So that's why it's very important that we cultivate a lot of our grassroots politicians and know who they are, know where they're from, know their background. Like this Tiffany lady, what do people know about her? You know, what do people know about her background? What's her get down? We really have to really get into people and who they are and see what they're doing for the grassroots, what they're doing for their constituents. We really have to keep an eye on them and not let it go to. It shouldn't get to the point where you at the podium cursing her out. It shouldn't even have to get there. See, we have to start nipping this stuff in the bud before it gets there, before it gets to a head. Because now, when you up here, you have to cuss this woman out, and her dude is there. Then you never know what's going to happen. Emotions get high. Yeah, cats get to swinging. She's swinging. Her wig is flopping all over the place. That's just a bad look all the way around. That's a bad look all the way around. All right, Wolf, hop in, Wolf. Wait, let me let you in. Wolf, my bad. I didn't let you in. All right, Wolf, hop in. I just let you in. What's up?
Hey, what's up, family? Hey, I might have missed it tonight, but did you speak about what's going on in DC with the plane crash that happened up there?
Yeah, I need to mention. Yeah, you at work right now, brother?
Yeah, I'm at work. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm about to finish up at like 5 o'clock.
there you go, man. Get that money, brother. Get that paper.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't mention this, but in DC, there was a plane crash. It was a plane collision. There was a commercial plane. I think was it American Airlines out there in Washington D.C. that they said collided with a Black Hawk helicopter, and there were 3 people allegedly on the Black Hawk helicopter. They said there were 60 people on the passenger plane. Anybody in DC, what's the word on that now? Because from what I understand, didn't the plane fall into the damn Potomac? So it's a thing. Um, there's a lot of information still coming out. This just happened. We got to ask questions. Did it really hit a Black Hawk? What the hell is a Black Hawk doing flying around DC? Was it an accident? Did this thing get hit on purpose? I'm asking questions. I'm not making accusations, but shit, there's a lot of these air collisions and air crashes lately, and something like that happening in Washington D.C. They're saying that it was an accident, but shit, um, if something nefarious happened, I don't think the military would want people to know that there was an attack on American soil. You don't want to get people riled up. You understand? I'm not saying that it was. I'm just throwing some scenarios out. I'm not saying because I don't know what happened, but it's just real interesting when certain quote accidents happen. We got to see if they're really accidents and if it was an attack or not. Because, like I said, earlier this month, we're going to see a lot of these weird attacks. We've been seeing these attacks in Vegas, New Orleans, where these strange attacks happen, and they're going to turn up even more. So we got to see. We're just going to see what's going on with that situation out there in DC, because if that was an attack, the media and the military they want to lay low and not announce it as an attack, because there was an attack with the I think the Japanese sent some kind of military balloon over here in the 1940s or something, and the military shot it down or whatever. But they didn't really promote it in the media because they didn't want to alarm the public. So for years, they kind of downplayed the fact that this was kind of an attack from a foreign nation. But what they don't want to do, they don't want the public to get riled up, because that's the purpose of a terrorist attack, is to get the public shaken up. And if you get the public shaken up, then society becomes unstable to a certain degree. And that's the whole purpose of a terrorist attack. Like when they did 9/11, when they did that, that flipped our society upside down. The way we travel had to change, just so much stuff changed within society. So they don't want to give a foreign entity that type of satisfaction, knowing that they've terrorized the general public. So a lot of times they will downplay an attack. So again, we're just trying to see what's going on out here in DC. We're getting more information in. All right, let's get Carbon Chronicles. There's Carbon Chronicles in the building.
What's going on, brother Flex?
My man, how are you, sir?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm good. Hey, to add on to what's going on in DC, I don't know, man. I'm waiting for him to say maybe one of Trump's nomination picks is on there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, mm,
So I'm looking at that with the tinfoil kufi, like you say. Um,
yeah,
I did want to say to my brothers and sisters out here in LA, because I'm in the LA area.
yeah.
On the 31st and the 1st, the Hispanics are having supposedly a big protest, for immigration. So if any of you guys have a little free time, um, y'all just call ICE when y'all see it on the TV. And one last thing,
Man,
um, to the tethers, I'm born in the early '90s. I'm in my early 30s right now. That African booty scratcher shit that y'all keep, excuse my language, y'all keep trying to say, that's not in our lexicon. We don't speak like that. Y'all got that from a movie, and y'all been running with that. Y'all come with a better lie, man, because that one ain't gonna work.
mm,
We don't even go to school with Africans like that. They go to school with white people.
mm.
So them keep with that run on, hey, y'all call me an African booty scratcher. Yeah, we not with that.
My man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, bro. Let's get E dot cakes. E dot.
Oh yeah, my bad.
How you doing,
Eh,
brother?
How's it going, man? How you doing there?
What's on your mind? I'm good.
Nothing much. Just want to say, in regarding to the topic here, is everyone getting their wake up call? Some of the model minorities I believe they are, because they've been very bold over these last couple of years and kind of throwing up their different ethnicities and pride in our faces as Americans, and feel like they got them in a little trouble with white people. So they're kind of getting their wake up call, as you said there.
Oh yeah,
And I just wanted to mention that, and I'll land my plane there.
my man, I appreciate you so much. Let's get Miss Lucy. Let's get Lucy Whitman. Lucy, Miss Lucy, there's a lot of noise going on your phone, ma'am. Lucy, everything okay over there? All right. Hello, Lucy. What kind of noise is that? Lucy being kidnapped. Breathing. Mhm. Are you blowing meth under the pillows? I'm just trying to see if Lucy's okay before we go to the next caller. Lucy, are you going to be all right? Do we need to call somebody? Okay, I think she's overdosing on meth over. All right. Lucy, let's put it together and just say no. Put the pipe down. All right. Let me see who else we got. I'm trying to work with her. I'm trying to help her out. All right. Let me see. Lots of people in the building. A lot of people in here right now. Let's get Mr. Aaron in the house. Aaron in the building. What's up, Mr. Aaron?
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Well, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hope you and your family doing well.
Oh, yeah.
First thing first, I'm FBA. My people from Rayford, North Carolina, on my dad's side, and Alexandria, Louisiana, on my mother's side. So, FBA all the way.
Yeah.
But I just want to talk about what I've seen out here in Texas. I go to school out here in Houston, and they're having like a little protest on campus. Excuse me. Like basically trying to organize a protest for some of these illegals and things like that. And I just, talking to like some of the students and stuff like that, and they're like, Trump is trying to, get rid of the 13th Amendment and the 14th Amendment. And I'm just like questioning. I'm like, yo, like where are y'all from? Like, they're trying to say like, well, we're not citizens, da 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 da. And come to find out, most of them are tethers or from, African and Caribbean backgrounds.
Yeah.
Um, and also, I just seen a video today coming from San Antonio where they did like an ice raid on this construction site, and there's like this video of, or there was like the POV of the guy, hiding from them under the floorboards, under the, of the houses and everything, and you see people in the comments saying like, "Oh, we're like the Latina Anne Frank or whatever."
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Basically making like, a false equivalence to saying like, oh, our homeland, or how I see it is like they think like their homeland is like basically a death camp, which I kind of find disrespectful, even
mhm.
though I'm not even Jewish. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just low key disrespectful. And yeah, I just want you to basically expound on that of like
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
that false equivalence.
Yeah. They've been doing that a lot. Like I said, the they were raiding some of the Native American tribes, and now some of the Native Americans are talking about, oh God, we're gonna need our freedom papers. Oh God, oh, we're gonna have to carry freedom papers like the blacks used to do. So everything is a comparison to us. And you down there in Texas, what's interesting? A lot of these folks start talking about, well, the the illegal immigrants, they should be able to come over because this was initially their land, and California was their land, and Texas was their land. Let me let y'all know something. Um, Mexico had Texas for about 17 years. Mexico had control, and I say control in quotations, over California for about 27 years. So these are both short periods of time where the Mexican government had control over these territories. And I want y'all to understand something. The people in those areas were not ethnically Mexican. All right, let's do some history real quick here because we hear this narrative that yeah, we taken California back. It used to be Mexicans here. The people weren't ethnically Mexican. You had in California, you had a whole bunch of indigenous tribes. These were not Mexicans. These were indigenous tribes. The Ohlone, the Mojave, the Chumash natives. Many of these people were very black-skinned people. These were native, non-Spanish speaking people. Even in Texas, there were thousands of native, non-Spanish speaking people. You had about in California, there was about 3,000 Californios. That's what they called the ethnic Mexicans who were up in California. So it was a relatively small number and a relatively small number. They called them in Texas the Tejeos or something. It was a name that they called the ethnic Mexicans who were in Texas. So a lot of the people who populated those areas were not genetically and ethnically Mexican. You understand? And Mexico only had those places control over them for a decade or so. So you get just put everything in context. The point is, um, you don't have no real claim to the land. You really don't. And plus, there was a deal made with the U.S. government where Mexico got 15 million of them things, and that was in exchange for the land. Now, just because they didn't trick the money off and you didn't screw the money off, you cannot circle and spin the block and try to get your shit back. That wasn't really yours anyway. So you got to put everything in context. All right, let's get Brother Steven in here. Mr. Steven, hop on in. Remember you last night. Hop on in, Steven.
Hello, yeah, I just wanted to add from California in the history. I came here as an archaeologist. I was reading, when you read the accounts of the white or the white like Anglo Americans coming to California, they were describing the people living here as black or mongrel or mixed people
Yes, they were.
living here in California.
Yes, they were. Over and
Yeah,
over.
and I was like, wow, that's us. And they were talking about how they're mixing and they're all black and even in Los Angeles, founded by black people
It was.
here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, this like nobody is talking about this. People act like it was just white people that came over here. There was nothing. Nobody did anything. And then oh, now we have America. But it was like we were already here in these areas, actually all over America. But I just wanted to add that. That's all.
Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. Out here in California, yeah, they kept talking about how damn black the people were. They kept saying that they were Negroes and even some of the images. You look at images and paintings of the Ohlone Indians, black as hell looking. And there's a reason why they named California after a black woman, Queen Califia, a mythological black woman from a story about the Moors that was circulating in Spain. They wrote a book about it in the early 1500s about this mythological black queen who lived in this far off land um, called California. So, real deep story, real deep stuff. Let me see. Let's get a couple of more calls in. Shout out to everybody in here. We hanging in here. Boy, we are in here deep tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're in here deep. Let's get CT in the building. CT in the building. CT in the building. All right, CT, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, CT. How are you, brother?
All right. Yeah, going back to the Black Hawk helicopter in Washington D.C. It is common to see Black Hawk helicopters flying in D.C. So that is to be legit because there's a lot of military bases surrounding D.C. That's in D.C. We got all the branches in D.C.
Oh,
and all and also they've been having a lot of issues with the watchtower in D.C. There's been a whole bunch of close calls for planes colliding in D.C.
oh,
So just
okay. So that's been a thing up there for.
that's been a thing. Yeah, that's been a thing.
Okay, my man.
And you can also research that too. So
Now the plane crash that happened earlier. Did they find the remains? Did they find the planes? Have you heard anything yet?
Yeah, they say they found some bodies coming up. It took them a while to find out where exactly where the plane landed, from what I'm hearing.
Oh, wow.
But the bodies are starting. They starting to find some bodies.
Okay. Okay. Oh,
Mhm.
man. Well, God bless the
Yeah.
people, man. Thank you so much for that info, bro.
You welcome, man. You have a good one.
Yes, sir. Man, bless the family of those people, man. That's very tragic. That's very tragic. Gaudy TV, hop in, brother. Gaudy TV, hop in, brother. All right, Gaudy.
Can you hear me, Rick?
There you go. I hear you.
Can you hear me?
I got you. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Rick? Nothing, man. Been a long time listener, and I was listening to you talk to one of the others earlier today, and it was just it was crazy how they just don't want to, you know, how can I say, they don't want to understand the mentality of the foundational Black American. And every time you were giving them facts and good knowledge, it was a spin. And it's very frustrating as a listener. When you want to show these people, you want to show them some type of camaraderie, but when they don't want to, I guess when they don't want to, like I said, understand the history, and then they try to throw the history back at you. You're like, yo, bruh, I know this already. Why you? Then
Yeah.
they're very antagonizing. So I just wanted to drop a little jewel on that,
There
and
you go.
land my plane.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all I need everybody to go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com. All right. Everybody give a contribution to the Hidden History Museum and then get the book Hidden Heroes from A to Z. Also, go to officialfba.com and get the book Foundational Black American Race Baiter. Phenomenal book. We got one more person raising their hand. Ellie in Paris. Hop on, Ellie. Ellie, hop on real quick. I was about to go, but I see you raising your hand. Ellie, go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Tariq, for letting me speak. I just have a question. I would be considered FBA. I'm just learning about the movement, and I'm excited to hear about it.
Yes.
Because my family, we've been tracking genealogy, and it's been really exciting to do this with my mother and grandmother, who have both passed, and I feel like I need to carry this torch on. But what I wanted to ask you is, what is your perspective on the pushback in this administration about Black history? I mean, the Holocaust is highly taught in this nation without the same pushback.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Uh, there's always been kind of a lot of pushback about us talking about history because now we're getting bold with history. And the way we teach history to each other now is us calling out white supremacy. So a lot of people, they kind of feel a certain way about that. See, when they talk about Black history in the abstract, because that's what we used to read about our history in school. Yeah, there was slavery. There were some people doing something in Africa. There was a civil rights movement. Everything was just kind of abstract. You didn't say why there was a civil rights movement. It was just, hey, there was some bad things that happened, and Black people were marching, and then they went and had a bus boycott. So they didn't really put everything in the right context or in the full context whenever they talk about Black icons. Well, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. He was one of the first who was integrated into baseball, and we're all one big happy family. Okay. Okay. You didn't go into, okay, the Negro Leagues and why there was a need for the Negro Leagues because the Black players were discriminated against by the white supremacists. So, um, it's interesting. Now, another thing on the flip side, family, um, a lot of history is getting tossed out with under the DEI umbrella. So a lot of our history ain't being targeted like that. It is to a certain degree, but a lot of it is mixed in with a lot of this. Okay, if you teach Black history, teach about Black trans people. So they're mixing in a lot of this other stuff with our history. And that's why a lot of it is getting tossed out, but that's good to a certain degree. So now that opens a lane for us to talk about our history just straight up and down, you see. So we need to use all of this DEI cleansing as an opportunity to say, okay, well, look, let's just talk facts. We are foundational Black Americans. We have a long-standing relationship with this nation that we built, and let's discuss the history. Let's put it on the table. So that's up to us. That's why we got the new HC6 coming. We're going to start working on that soon. That's up to us to flip that paradigm. All right, but anyway, let me get up out of here, man. Yo, go to microphonecheck.com to get the film Microphone Check. Go to rootworkstyle.com to get the Rootwork deodorant. All right, I'm up out of here. Puppy Akute, la la to the family. Peace.